having some.
And coming up next, folks, on stream for you right now, I have a ToeJam and Earl back in the groove, fixed. Strauss, you can go ahead and say hello and get things rolling.
Awesome. Hello, everybody. I am Strouse12. I will have my commentator Seawalker777 here. It's probably going to handle most of that commentary. If it's so, I guess I'll go ahead and say that, it's old school ToeJam here. It's because of his special abilities and starting presence. So that's one of the big things looking at here. So, Seawalker, sir.
I can hear you now.
There we go. Awesome. Now we have some commentary. So if you guys are ready for time, we'll go ahead and get started here and count it down. Seawalker's kind of going to handle the commentary while I do the rest. So I press start here and I'll count down from 5. So 5, 2.
Alright, if you're fans of the original game, you'll notice that level 1 looks very familiar. It is, in fact, the So this run's going to go pretty quick here. I think Strauss is second on our leaderboard with a time of like 10 minutes and 46 seconds. Shoutouts to the developers for patching into the game a cancellation button for what we call prize time. We'll see that when we pick up a ship piece. So if you're familiar with the game or not familiar with the game, 25 levels, 10 ship pieces to get ToeJam and Earl back to Funkatron. And Strauss jumped across there to the Backer Island. Shoutouts to Kickstarter project. So Strauss probably spends more time than the 11 minutes he normally does this run in to set up a file in which he is guaranteed to get the nice rocket skates, which are the most powerful item in the fixed world speedrun. With the old school ToeJam, you can get double time and extra speed. And so adding in the save and quit glitch that he just did there is going to allow Strauss to use those nice rocket skates all the way to the end of the game.
Yes. I love that glitch. It's my favorite. Almost messed up there, but I managed to not fall. Whew.
Okay, so we're on to level 5. We're just going to keep zipping through here. One of the cool things that I do like about this game is you can actually see the levels below. But we're going fast, so you might not actually get to see them.
I actually have that setting turned off because it makes the game load just a little bit slower.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, so one of the things we found as we've continued to kind of push the times downward is messing around with different options to see how that affects load times. We don't have like a load remover yet, and we found that the load times can actually be random. And I think it's depending on like the speech bubbles that you get in between levels or the music that you get in between levels. So you can actually, I mean, you could probably PB, but actually lose your PB because of the load times right now.
Yeah, I've had that happen. I've lost a run on level 24 because of the certain elevator music, and that one hurts. Almost missed that.
All right, here comes level 8. All right, that's a golf clap right there. That is not. That is not. There's going to be a harder one coming up, but that's actually. I don't even do that one. I just skip it. But for how fast Mandels and Strauss are, like that's pretty much a requirement if you're going for world record.
Blind jump's my favorite. Oh, there we go. There it is.
Very nice. So there's a lot of mechanics that are in this game that, thanks to the speedrun, we just don't use. So you can actually get levels up in this game. They increase your stats, they do various things. We skip all that because of our nice rocket skates. We don't need it. You can go to the hyper funk zone like you can in ToeJam Earl 2 Panic on Funkatron. Another nice mechanic that we just say, sorry, we don't need it. And level 10, always a little bit scary there. You see Strauss slow down because if he hits that snow patch wrong, he's going to go flying off and down to level 9.
You'll also notice I got the slow load time music. That funky music adds like 6 seconds to your run automatically.
So they're really pushing the time where it's like almost finding every single optimal movement you can that like you think it's not going to save that much more time, but it adds up over the 25 levels, and then you have stuff like that where you kind of bounce off the hill with the rocket skates and get thrown in a direction that's not optimal.
Yeah, I was able to save it back there on level 11, but it wasn't too bad. They could be worse than that.
So you see lots of familiar enemies in here. You got the dentists, you got the demon mailboxes. Those are from the original. You got the jackhammer guy, construction guy, coming from Panic on Funkatron. Also, shoutouts to Paul Blart. Saw a couple of him there.
And he's awful in a regular run. You don't want to run into him. Ooh, save that.
Level 14, always a little scary. Just to try and get that timing down, was a good save.
Yeah, you can hit that and not double bounce, but it can be tricky sometimes.
All right, level 15. So there is a theory out there. So one of in the latest patch, you can combine items, and so high tops and the nice rocket skates are what ToeJam gets bonuses on. And allegedly, we haven't been able to prove this out yet, but we hear it's true. If you use both of them together, you're supposed to be just ever so slightly faster than if you were to use just the nice rocket skates on their own.
Yeah, it's something I want to try to test more. I just haven't done it yet. A little wobbly there.
Very nice. All right, coming up to level 17, another kind of fun one where if you hit a piece of land just right, you go flying down to level 16.
And we're going to try to avoid that if possible. Oh yeah, we got it. No problems.
Very nice. Level 18 is a fun one. Short and sweet.
Yeah. Straight line, turn, got it. That's about what 18 consists of.
So I think I talked a bit about stats before. There's like a speed stat which only affects your walking speed. So if you have movement items, that kind of overrules that stat. and so it doesn't end up mattering. You got a presence stat, you got luck stat, life bar stat, inventory stat. Picking up some bad food there. Time loss.
That was a weird animation right there, too. Oh, God.
A little bit of a tighter jump. Very nice. Nailed it.
Not ready for this jump.
Big jump. Big jump on level 21. If Strauss falls on this one, we won't laugh at him. I told him if he falls on any other jumps, we would. If he makes this one, we can give him the good old golf clap. All right, here we go. Very nice.
That wasn't actually how I planned to do that jump. Normally I can jump all the way over those islands, but I'll take it.
Yeah, so there is kind of two ways to do that. There's the double jump. That's what I'm used to. I think even getting your speed and like a pixel perfect thing just shoots you all the way over, and it's just one jump.
Across the void.
Yeah, so 22. There is a little, it's kind of funny. It looks like you should fall down, but you don't, so we abuse the heck out of that.
Absolutely.
It's just a nice safety to have.
Pretty straightforward level here on 23.
Yeah, we got 23, 24, and 25 left. These are all, this is all just kind of the home stretch now. Got the drone guy, he's not too scary. Got the football guy, he normally is scary when you don't do the speed run like we do. Got the karate girl, she can be very painful.
Just for whoever's on controlling the time, time will be when I pick up the ship piece on 25, so it's going to be probably another 30 seconds-ish.
Very nice. That's always a little scary, going on the hills with the nice rocket skates. Just another one more time, yet you can try and go flying over the edge. And coming up
Time's
on
right there.
25. GG's.
What?
That is ToeJam and Earl.
What? 1107. That's actually pretty solid.
Yeah, that is solid. Very nice.
You know, I'll be honest, I haven't played this game in probably 2 or 3 weeks, except for the practice run I did before this, so 1107 is pretty good.
Yeah, if you're looking to get into speedrunning, this is a great game to, I think, kind of get your feet wet. You know, it's just getting that manip set up, grabbing your rocket skates on 2, doing the save and quit on level 3, and from there it's just practice, going through the remaining levels, grabbing the ship pieces, getting the elevators, learning your sort of optimal movements. Yeah, it's a great sort of beginner run.
Yeah, and if you don't like that fixed mode type thing, there is random, and random is a good fun. That averages about 15 minutes a run once you get super fast, so I mean, definitely a shorter run, shorter game to learn and play. But that's it for me. I was Strouse12. My commentary was Seawalker777. Appreciate you tuning in for this good cause that they're raising money for. Thanks for letting me be on this marathon. I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
That was a nice, brisk run that we just saw. Really happy to have been able to sit through and enjoy that one with you folks today. As part of our, what I have dubbed the colon block, where a bunch of games in a row have colons in their titles. It's kind of interesting how that worked out on the schedule. North American Speedrun Assembly 2020 this year is collecting money for the Save the Children organization. And some of the money that goes to Save the Children goes to a lot of different things, and I think one of the coolest things about it is that $500, total, in a block, can provide a kit that provides shelter to children during an emergency, so that they have a safe place to be during some sort of crisis. And when I read that, I think that's really cool. You can build like a pop-up shelter. It's like the real world's an RTS, and you can help people with some money, and I think that's really neat. And that's just one of many things that the money that goes to this organization does, which is fantastic. I live in the United States, and one of the things that I deal with when I was growing up is, I had a lower-ish family income. And I didn't know that until I was older. I didn't have any idea until I was nearly an adult, and my mom kind of explained how money was one day when I was 18. And I think that's a good thing. If we can keep other kids from realizing that stuff's really bad and let them just be themselves and not have them have to worry about money, I think that's a good thing. It should be on us as the adults to help out and let the kids be in a good environment, because I didn't know that was an issue with my family. But fortunately, where I'm at, there was a lot of infrastructure and things in place, in my country's government and whatnot, that helped out with that. And there are other places that don't have that, unfortunately. And Save the Children helps provide those resources to people that need them. And I think that's great. And that's what the charity money is going to. Now, talk about next game coming up is going to be VeggieTales, Larry Boy, and the Bad Apple. This is an all-levels race. It's Pro Infernate and Electra_RTA are going to be our two runners for it. Is there going to be a video I cut to for this one? And then going on after that is going to be Battle Tanks, Global Assault. And then we got Catherine Full Body, and Nier Automata A&E. Okay, if you do, let me know, otherwise I'm just going to keep talking. And the money that you donate to charity can go to a number of different bid incentives that affect things that happen during the production of the stream. We got a video we're cutting to, or am I just ad-libbing? No, I meant the, Save the Children video. Sure. Give me time to breathe for a second. You can go ahead and hit that now.
The cycle of poverty that we see a lot of families staying in is a very toxic kind of stress. It's living life on this edge of the cliff, and you never know what's going to push them off.
What's the hardest thing about being a kid?
Growing up.
Imagine trying to go to school and focus on learning when your stomach's growling, not knowing if they're going to get to eat dinner at home.
We try to make a safe haven with our programs and give them a chance to be kids and enjoy learning.
When you read a book, it takes you somewhere. It's an adventure. Reading's hard for me, but now it's a blast.
The confidence that our programs build in children is something that you cannot put a price on.
They helped me get an education, which I think is pretty cool.
I need to be bigger, 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 like a grown-up, so I could be president. If our president, I will tell them to give me a whole tub of chocolate. I will go in space if I was the president.
I'll tell the people to stop chopping down trees every day. Just cut about 20 a day. Probably 20 a day, not like 50 each day, just 20.
If I was president, I'll be nice to people and make sure they're not mad. Bad. Or mad. I would make a new law and say, do not smoke around children. Do not eat and drive. Do not drink and drive. The president should help kids a lot. Because if we didn't have kids, then why would the earth be toys? I approve this message. I approve this message.
Childhood should be a time when our nation's youngest citizens build their foundation to develop to their full potential. In rural America, many children lack daily opportunities to learn, have nutritious food, and access to health care. And these challenges are now magnified by the effects of the coronavirus pandemic. As part of its annual childhood report, Save the Children has created the first ever ranking of U.S. counties, highlighting how well they protect and provide for children. In McDowell County, West Virginia, families are isolated and without resources, struggling to provide kids the childhoods they deserve.
There's not a pediatrician here in the county, and so when a child is sick, oftentimes families have to make a choice if they have gas money to be able to take their child to see that pediatrician, if they need to stay and work instead.
If you have a sick child, the last thing you want to have to do is drive 2 hours to be able to see the doctor and 2 hours home. To me, that's probably one of the biggest challenges in this county.
We worry about her than we do ourselves. We make sure she gets fed before we do.
Our early childhood coordinator that we have here in McDowell County also work directly with the families to connect them with community resources.
Sometimes it's church across the road, they give out food. When they give out food, I go right over and get a box.
Where a child is born or where they grow up shouldn't determine their future. To make things better for children and for our shared future, we must all come together. Save the Children provides early childhood education services in communities across the country that seek to address children's social and emotional growth as well as improve their educational achievement. Compassionate individuals like you can make a difference by supporting our efforts to help our nation's most marginalized children.
If somebody doesn't see that these children are struggling and pick them up and give them the assistance or be a good role model for them, then they are going to be left behind.
There you go, folks. Now you know a whole bunch of things about Save the Children, and I have a terrible admission for you, chat. I am an XSplit user in an OBS world, but I am being educated by the best of OBS users on how to make things better. Don't judge me, folks. I'm trying to convert over. I'll join the team. Yeah, I wasn't joking earlier when I said stream audio is the worst and most complex thing. Any live event audio that you do is powered by hope, is what it is. And we do a good job of getting it done here at Ask Marathon. And a little bit of that stuff going on was on my end. And we've gotten everything sorted out. and we are going to bring the next game to you. The race, VeggieTales, Larry and the Bad Apple. All levels is going to be coming to you right now, folks.